lot of people, they want to go from A to Z without the whole fucking alphabet in there. They never listened to Papoose Alphabetical Slaughter before. You got to go from A to Z and then backwards through that motherfucker like he did. You know what I'm saying? Before you actually get where you want to go. And a lot of people either not built for the fucking longevity. And the biggest thing that fucks with artists the most is once they feel like they have put in enough money into their music, they should be getting returned by now up to their standards. That's when it really fucks with them mentally. And they get so jaded and just like thrown off by this shit. And they're like, oh, everything is rigged type thing. It's all pay for play and shit like that. And I'm just like, no, what you think is a scam is unrealistic expectations on the amount of money that you spent. Just because you spent $1,000 in 1 year on your fucking marketing doesn't mean shit. That ain't nothing, man. Are you fucking kidding me? You expect to be known all around the United States off $1,000? Get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm unstoppable like rolling, cracking out the modes. Never mind the road, I go whichever I'ma go. Nothing stop me though, rain, sleet, summer, snow. What's up, y'all? Harco's here with the Music Making Sense podcast, where we come to talk to you about music marketing, branding, and how to have success, real success as an independent artist. And with me, as always, is the Dark Hearts rocker, the dark-hearted stalker, your grandma's most hated, but your mama's most satiated, the one, the only, KP.
I love that intro,
That's
man.
a good one. Absolutely. It's a good one, man. It fits
Definitely,
you.
dude. Definitely.
It definitely fits you.
Love it, man.
But I made that up the other day, so we're going to try rocking with it for a little while and kind of go from there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we coming to you today to talk about some great stuff. But before we get to that, KP, you know we got to tell
Oh, yeah. You know who we are powered by, guys.
Powered by Riverside FM.
Absolutely. Riverside is the best. If you use Zoom or StreamYard or any other platforms like that for video conferencing or any kind of video recording, stop. Hit up Riverside, go down below and click that link and get your first month free for Riverside. It's not only great for doing, simulcast like me and KP. I'm in Indiana. He's in Washington. You know what I'm saying? And we're still sitting here. We have great quality and everything like that. Not only does it
Seattle,
do that, but also has
mind
the auto clip. Yeah, Seattle. Yeah, not just regular
not
Washington,
DC.
but but extra crazy Washington. But
right.
But yeah, it has auto clipping features, text-based editing, transcripts, and it gets you show notes and all that stuff. It's dope. It's amazing. It's wonderful. So make sure you go check that out. But yeah, now that we got that kind of out of the way,
Yes.
we are going to talk to you about marketing and brand, as always, but that compared to just the budget. Does the budget matter? Is the budget everything, or is it not? And that's basically, it kind of came up from this clip that KP saw on No Labels Necessary Instagram page. And I'll put that up right here. They if you go to their IG, No Labels Necessary, scroll down a little bit depending on when you go there. It will depend on how far it's down, but there's one called The Man Behind Creating Industry Plants ? On it. And so I'm going to play it real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and hop on in to talk about it. So I'd like to hear it. Here it go.
When Tekashi 6ix9ine came out, come on, niggas at home was like, this shit trash. You know what I came to niggas and said? He about to be a star. How? I'm working his record. You know who's working his record? He signed to Lucian Grange, but Def Jam is working his record. He signed to Lucian Grange, but Universal Republic is outsourcing niggas to what? Work his record. So when that budget is there, I know who's gonna be a star. The only one I missed was Ice Spice, and it's on record, and I didn't know she was signed to Lucian Grange. I didn't know she was with the bank. That's the bank. That's the most powerful man in music. That's why Drake is Drake. That's why Cash Money is Cash Money. That's why Nicki Minaj is Nicki fucking nigga.
No.
Because of Lucian Grange and the budget.
That is such bullshit. Ice Spice is a star because she has a consistent look. She's known for something. If I seen a little girl walking around on Halloween with a red afro and a skirt on, she's dressing like Ice Spice. When you create culture, that's what makes it work. That's why Ice Spice is so big.
But Tekashi's
absolutely right there. And like I said, that's just a little clip and stuff like that. And so for those of y'all who don't know who Lucian Grange is, let me just set that up real quick before KP gets into it. He is the CEO of Universal Records. So that's who he was talking about whenever he said Lucian Grange is the bank. It's not like some seedy character that nobody knows about. No, he's the head of Universal. But yeah, so what was your first thoughts whenever you saw this, KP?
Well, first of all, shout out to Brandman, shout out to Sean and Corey, and shout out to SO and Ray for this video or this clip.
Yeah, SO and Ray Daniels as well too. Those are the people in it. Yep.
Yeah, but what came to my mind was I was with Ray. And the reason I'm going to say that is not because, and yes, the bank, SO has a point. Yes, the money does make a difference, granted. But like Ray said, the image of Ice Spice makes a huge difference. And that's why it's about the culture. Because if you ever think about it, we didn't look at who was the man behind the money or behind the project. We never looked at that. We looked at the artist. We looked at Marvin Gaye. We looked at Michael Jackson, Prince, the Bee Gees. We saw, you know what I'm saying? And on and on.
And that's what most fans look at, is they look at the artist and what they represent. Most fans don't give a fuck about who's behind them, like on the business side.
Exactly.
You know, that's only people like me and you who are in the music marketing and shit like that. We look at the business side of things. But the 90% of the people, they just look at the front end shit. You know, when you see Ice Spice or 6ix9ine or whoever out in front, you know, they're out in front. That's who you look at. You don't look at like, oh, who are they signed to? And
nobody ever thought about that. Only thing was we found out was Berry Gordy because it was historical what he did with Motown, right? That's it.
Right, that, or you know, when in hip hop, when they would like rep their label a lot, you know, like Rockefeller, USDA, you know, Cash Money, Young Money, all that shit. But, unless they were doing that, but then that was only like the bottom line label. That was the sub. That label was signed to a bigger label. You know what I'm saying? Like
sub label.
Sub-label, yeah, exactly. You know? But most people don't know that either. Most fans would be like, no, I thought Cash Money was label. Technically, but it's actually a sub-label. They're attached to this company for distribution and this company for fucking, you know, publishing and this, you know, all that shit, right? So a lot of people don't notice that. But yeah, as you were saying, most people just see the brand and the culture that it portrays.
Yeah, and that's what people go by. And like, so yes. So my point is this. When you listen to what SO and Ray were saying, right? You as an artist can actually fund yourself. Now, yes, it takes some work, and there are places that you can go. There are like organizations and things like that. You could do funding, all those type of things, right? So it does take some work. But basically, when you listen to what both of them said, and we can go back to that video I've showed you about Barry White, say rest his soul, in the 80s, telling our artists that they need to be the songwriters, the producers, the accountants, all that stuff, right? Was saying that this is our lives. That's what he was straight up saying, right? And so now when you hear SO talking about Sir Lucian Grange being the bank, but then Ray saying that the culture follows Ice Spice and Tekashi because they see the look, they see the image, they hear them, right? So now when you think about it as artists, it does. I get where you're coming from, even from me as an artist. Yes, it is somewhat of a pain. It can be a headache to do the marketing and those things. But shout out to Chris Bradley. I was just watching her of Produce Like a Boss, and she's check out her podcast, guys. She's a really good podcast. And she talks about being able to, when you look at marketing, how to be creative. So what she started doing was, because she's also an artistic type as well. So what she started doing was dressing herself up in silly costumes and doing like skits, right? And she started doing, and to market her products, to market Produce Like a Boss, and get people to really like and to buy her
that attention.
Yeah, right. So she was able to do that. And because she's entertaining and able to utilize that entertainment in a marketing perspective, she's able to get people like myself and many others who have helped her become a 7-figure fucking music producer who's out there. And hey, she did the work. And trust me, and because of that, when I saw that and I realized and listening to them, yes, guys, if we put that type of effort into it, and I have to think about that with myself when it comes to marketing, right? There are things that I can do that will make my marketing will make it fun, right? Instead of me sitting here looking at like myself with my plain clothes on, hey, get on my wake my, pardon my expression, y'all, but wake my black ass up and put my makeup on. Right? I mean, I'm gonna keep it right. Get my black ass up, get my fucking makeup on, get my stuff on, or go, take care of business, go to the gym, do what I need to do, get myself fired up. But get the makeup on, put these contacts in, right? And I've been practicing that because I've been like, all right, well, I had to practice that because it's something that I needed to get over. That's that hump, right? Getting over that hump. So I started thinking like, okay, if I want to be able to do that, then these are the things that I have to do. So yes, you as an artist, you're able to to be able to market yourself utilizing your skills, utilizing your talent, your ability to act, your ability to be theatrical, the fact that you are a musician, right? Think about that, using your personality to market your products. And that's pretty much what you can do, because then you become the bank, right? Because people start paying you because they want to start, because they love what you're doing. You're entertaining them, but you're using it to market. So yeah, like I can agree with both of them, but I absolutely see how you can what's the word we're looking for? Re-engineer that. And we've been talking about that today with Austere. Shout out to Vershawn. I had one of my coaching calls today with Austere, and we were talking about the re-engineering, right? How we re-engineer and how we market ourselves, even if we've had a bad situation within our careers, right? The thing would be, the way to make yourself become relevant again is how you market, right? It's how you re-engineer your marketing strategy, and then you start doing things, pardon me, y'all, you start doing things differently. You start, instead of just going back out there doing shows, hey, go attack it from the internet. Attack it with some ads. Attack it with some cool marketing, right? Average. So then when you put those in your ads, it'll look fun, and people will start kind of like forgetting certain things. They'll still be in their mind, but maybe at the same time, time has passed on. So now you're starting to be able to utilize that. And now you're just focusing on the entertainment aspect of putting your product out there. And that's where you can re-engineer. All right. So yeah, so definitely you can use it, but again, re-engineer it, guys. You can become the bank, or you can be the bank yourself, and use budget wisely and spend wisely, but at the same time, use the artistic talent and skills that you have in order to market and be able to become the bank.
All right, y'all. I just wanted to hop in here really quick and let you know about my company. I know a lot of times we're sitting here talking to you about all the different companies that rock with us here at Music Making Sense Podcast, but I just figured I'd hop in here really quick and let you know about my company and the services that I offer. Now, my company is called Apex Music System, and you can find that over at apexmusicsystem.com. You can find a full list of all the services that I offer over there in my company. If you're a podcaster, or you have an online business, or you're an artist, I can help you out with anything. All right. I got services such as website building, email marketing, video editing, social media management, ad management, creative content, strategy, consultations, and I can help you out no matter what your budget is. Now that's key right there. I got great prices. Plus I have a wide variety of low, medium, and high tier services. So I can help you out no matter what your need is. So make sure you go check out my company over at apexmusicsystem.com. And, like I tell you every time, make sure you let them know that I told you about my company right here on Music Making Sense Podcast. So I know that this ad's actually working. All right. I'm going to shut up so you can get back to the show.
Yourself.
Right. Well, I agree with you. See, the way that I see that conversation is that, well, for one, let me rewind back a second. When you said pardon my expression and then you talked about yourself, why the fuck would we need pardon the expression when you're talking about yourself? Say what you want, man. Say I'm gonna wake my black ass up. Okay, fine, whatever.
I had burp. I didn't mean pardon your expression.
Okay.
I had burp. I burped. I'm sorry. I felt
I thought you were prefacing
no.
gonna say I'm waking my black ass up. Oh, okay.
No.
All right. Anyway, so that's I misunderstood that one. But anyway. So when it comes, let's get back on topic, Arcos. So when it comes to this clip, one guy is talking about, it's all about the bank. If you ain't got the budget, blah blah blah, it ain't shit.
So,
and the other guy, yeah, and then
right.
And then Ray was like, no, man, it's about the culture, it's about what you bring to it. Well, see, and that right there. Both of those guys are high-level people within the music industry. However, that clip exemplified what goes on at every level within the music industry, even at the very bottom.
Yeah.
Because people see things in binaries. They don't see things as a complex unit, okay? Mm-hmm. They see you either got water or fire, right? It's either the budget or it's the image,
yeah.
right? They don't focus on the fact that your musical career is a car. Mm-hmm. The money is just the gas that goes in the fucking tank to get you down the road.
Preach.
And you got to build that car,
yep.
And you got to build it right with all the proper parts and all that shit, make it look dope. Then you put the gas in it so then you can run the race, right? And then you can win. You know what I'm saying? It's a race car.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't understand. They're like, well, like I see this happen all the time with beginning artists or even like level 1 artists, right? Like level 0, level 1 artists. Mm-hmm. Oh man, if I could just get signed to a label, blah, blah, blah. It's like, we've talked about it before. Like, what are you going to do? What do you bring to a label? Sorry, for those of y'all watching the video, I got some in my fucking eye. Your audio people wouldn't have noticed. But apparently if I get something in my eye, I can't speak. But, what are you going to bring to that label if, for their money?
Yeah, because they're
if you bring...
They're a business.
They're a business. And the thing is, too, is that if you don't bring anything but, I'm dope on the mic, I'm the next one on, like Capone said last episode, right? Then you get fucked. You get signed into that 360 of all 360s where you get barely enough to live. You're in some shitty little 1-bedroom Roach-filled apartment, but in your music videos, you're blinged out. You got Ferraris and fucking hookers and all kinds of shit, right?
Yeah.
But, or whatever whatever your musical, thing is. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you look like you're a millionaire, but you're living like a nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because you had nothing to the table. Your car was just an idea. It actually wasn't even a car. You just had an idea drawn out. And so if you actually take the time to build that, like 6ix9ine did, like Ice Spice did, like a bunch of people did, but we're just going to use those two for the example because it's one in the video. They built that image. I mean, for one, obviously we know 6ix9ine's hair ain't real, right? And his grill and shit like that, the multicolors, all that stuff, he put that on to stand out. It's called peacocking when a guy does it for the most part, right? Females can do it too, but it's called peacocking essentially. He's stand the fuck out, right? If he would have just been another, Latin kid with a fucking red rag on running around Brooklyn, he would have stood out a little bit, but not as much. Even if he was talking that shit that he does, right? He wouldn't have stood out as much if he didn't have that hair and the colors and the big, loud fucking color jackets and shit that I'm sure he got inspiration from Dipset on that. You know what I'm saying? Because Jim Jones was affiliated with that startup and shit, right?
Yeah.
And so, and they were all about the big pink coats and the big pink everything, right?
Cameron,
They stood the fuck out.
yeah.
Jewels was all about the yellow. He was wearing brighter yellow than your fucking microphone cover.
I know,
KP.
right? This is
You know what I'm
orange,
saying?
actually.
That motherfucker. Oh shit, it looks yellow in here.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
But
I can see where
but
you
yeah, like he was like so yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, if it wasn't for that, he wouldn't have stood out the way he did, right? And then after that came his attitude, his fuck you and everything like that, suck my dick, all that shit, right? Like everything, all his demeanor, everything like that, that came secondary. But first is that look, and then second is the actual culture behind it, as Ray was talking about. Same thing with Ice Spice. I would probably put, I don't have much money, but I'd probably put a couple $100 on that. That's not her real hair color, at least bare minimum, right? And so, like, if it is her real hair, okay, fine, whatever. We're not gonna get into that. But I'm saying,
no, that's her real hair. Look. Actually, when I thought about it, that is
the color. I mean, I can see the texture, but I'm talking about the color.
No, the color, yeah. Because because I've known black folks who have that red, and you could tell by the way her skin. I could tell by her skin tone too. There's
right. I mean, I know, I know she's like mixed crazy or whatever, and that crazy stuff happens. But for that color of red, it's very rare on even white people, right?
No.
And so that's why I was just
no. What I'm saying, I know because I have one of my best friends has he has full black parents, and he had red hair.
The red hair.
And I had actually.
So it's just a genetic. It's a genetic rarity.
Yeah, it's
then.
a real. Cool. It's like so. I know three brothers that I went I went to school with and grew up with. Sean, Kevin, and Brian. Red. All three of them we call red. So it's
okay. Well,
yeah,
genetic abnormality, but they are rare.
Just
rare. Like the black kids in Africa with the blonde hair and blue eyes.
Albino. I don't like using that word. But yeah.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, their skin is dark as fuck, but their eyes and their hair is like opposite from what standard is, right? You know what I'm saying? Not standard's a bad word, but you know what I'm saying. Right. Genetic rarities, right?
Right.
Okay. So either way, that she's taking it and rocking it, right? Because that look, the way she wears her clothes, the way she presents herself, and then of course her demeanor on top of that, that all is part of that culture. That's that car that was built for both of them, right? And so when Lucian Grange saw that, not just because they were some kid out on the street, but because they took that marketing, they took their own money, maybe they got some seed money and stuff. I mean, obviously we know where 6ix9ine got his seed money because he did Fed time about it, but they got some seed money or whatever to get them up to that level 2, 3, 4 to where they were able to get scouted by an A&R for Universal. Obviously, Lucian himself possibly did not find them, right? An A&R found them, right? Which is
the
how
moment
Lucian started. That was really interesting.
The moment he saw them,
yeah, exactly. As soon as he saw, he's like, "Oh, we got them, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, whatever. Let's make it happen." That's a platinum artist right there. Done. Make it happen, right?
Like
because
Drake.
Exactly. Yeah, Drake and everybody else, right? Like everybody who gets in there and then just shoots up, it's because they already have their car built because they put in the years of work. I mean, 6ix9ine didn't just fucking start. I don't care what he says his story is. He didn't just make Gummo and then all of a sudden blew.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. No. And Ice Spice didn't start, they didn't just start randomly. No. They've been doing it for a few years, you know what I'm saying? And they've been building, and then they get that first entry. And then that first entry is a test. And if you test well, then you go on to the next challenge, right? And then they keep going up through these challenges. And then, all right, boom, here's your golden ticket, buddy. You're good to go, right? And I mean, fuck, even Fed time didn't stop 6ix9ine. I mean, he's still out there getting mugged in bathrooms and shit, right? And so, like, you're right, KP? I said that. I said that right as soon as he was taking a hit. So I think I might have also almost killed KP. But
I didn't almost kill me. It was just I took a hit and just right.
Yeah, I heard you. Because see, KP turns his camera off sometimes when he's taking a hit, so it's not on camera if I happen to switch to him. And all of a sudden, right as soon as I said that, I heard the spark. And I heard him like choke. Anyway.
This motherfucker.
So anyway, he's still relevant. Let me just say it like that.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, y'all, let me take a quick break right here to tell you about something that's completely fucking ridiculous, okay? It's called horribledesigns.com. And I personally know the owner, and he's just as ridiculous as this whole fucking company is, okay? If you or someone you know loves stickers and mugs and shirts with crazy outlandish sayings on them that just are designed to catch people's attention out in public and get them to laugh and point and ask you, hey, where'd you get that t-shirt, or where'd you get that sticker, when they see it on your car and stuff like that, y'all got to go check out horribledesigns.com. At horribledesigns.com, they have all kinds of ridiculous sayings on stickers and coffee mugs, t-shirts, vinyl stickers, magnets, and even mouse pads, okay? And I'm telling you, if you guys have not checked out horribledesigns.com, you got to go check it out, because some things are straight up great, like the American Muscle mouse pad. It's got some awesome pictures of great muscle cars if you're into cars, or you know somebody who's into muscle cars and they need some great mouse pad to have while they're on the computer working. But then they also have dumbass fucking t-shirts that say things like, are you staring at my ass, with a picture of a donkey on it, or stickers that say, are you staring at my beaver, with a picture of a beaver on it. Stuff like that, man. Completely ridiculous shirts and stickers, coffee mugs, everything like that. Anything that you could ever think about having just to get people's attention, make a statement out in public, and just completely be ridiculous, and to do it with some horrible designs at the exact same time. And like I said, I know the owner, so he hooked us up with a great deal where you can save right now by using the link below in the description. Whenever you go there and shop, you will not only support Music Making Sense podcast, but you also get a great deal on any and everything that you decide to purchase every time that you use that link right there in the description below. So make sure you go check that out right now, horribledesigns.com. Use the link below in order to get good savings. Go check it out. Buy some ridiculous shit for yourself or someone you know. All right, now let's get back to the show. And even not just him, Drake, and whoever else, right? Name an artist, name a genre, because Universal covers 40%, 40 or 60% of the music industry. I can't remember which one. They cover most of it, right? So you got to have that car built. And a lot of artists don't want to build that motherfucking car, because they're not built for the hard work of building a car, because it takes time.
They're
You
not
either
built
have
for the
time or
longevity.
money, or you have both. What was that? They're not built for the longevity. Exactly. They're not. And see, that's the thing, is that when people say, oh, the system's rigged, everything's stacked against us, stuff like that within the industry. I'm not talking about subsections within the industry. I'm talking about the industry as a whole, right?
Yeah.
When they say the industry is rigged, blah, 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 no matter who they are, what they look like, anything like that, what genre they're in,
Yeah.
you'll hear it all the time, right? Besides all the smaller diversity, right? In a whole.
Yeah.
Oh, the system's rigged, right? Yeah, it's rigged for a reason. Like, you have to go through those trials and tribulations in order to get that pot of gold at the end. Yeah. I mean, fuck, Jelly Roll was on fucking Joe Rogan in early part of the year, and he said that for the first 10 years, he didn't make any money off of music. And he said if he would have known that at the beginning it was going to take 10 years, he wouldn't have done it. Yeah. Right? But he just kept going. He's like, one day. Well, one day turned into 10 years worth of days. And then eventually, boom, start paying off. Now motherfucker doing Grand Ole Opry, getting Grammys, fucking on Joe Rogan and shit like that, doing his thing, right? And there's plenty of other artists who we can start listing off, but that would take 3 hours. But like that's Kato, exactly what
Kato, the producer, said this. It's overnight. What do you say? Overnight success is 10 years in the making.
Exactly. And some people go in like 5.
Yeah,
but on average, you got to put in multiple years. You got to put in a lot of money into it, a lot of your own money. See, that's the thing too that gets a lot of people. Go ahead.
But hold on, when you really think about this, though, we've been doing this shit since we were kids. Mm-hmm. A lot of us been singing since we were 6, dropping beats since learning how to rap since they 13, learning how to put down beats, learning how to scratch. It was when we were kids. So it was,
that was just the art part.
That was just the art, yeah. But I mean, if you think about it though, that 10,000 hours, man, starting that fucking when I was in school, dude, I remember it was, I want to say third grade, dude. I got asked to be in Glee Club, and it started from there.
Right. And then
Because
just went
every
on from
time,
there.
every time school teachers, music teachers would hear my voice, they would ask me. And I stopped when I was in high school because, well, more so junior high, because my mom passed away and that really devastated me. And I
Yeah,
stopped.
it will, obviously.
But
That's
yeah,
a big
definitely.
situation. Yeah.
But at the same time, I always still when I would still sing, and also because I went to a predominantly black school, and a lot of niggas weren't listening to rock and metal, and I was
Right, there's
heavily,
that
so
too.
I couldn't
Yeah.
really, so I couldn't find band members and shit. So that's why
Right.
also, but at the same time, I still kept the skill because I would sing every day when I got home from
And
school
see,
and stuff.
right.
So the
And see, you
10,000
put your
hours,
10,000
yeah,
out. You put that into the artistry. And then after you got that, you went years before you started realizing, wait, I got to put 10,000 hours into the business side now too.
yeah,
Into the marketing side, to the business, to all the back end shit.
yeah.
And that's where a lot of artists fuck up,
Mhm.
right? Obviously you haven't, obviously I haven't, because we've actually dove into that for years now.
Yeah.
We're rounding out our 10,000 hours if we haven't already passed it. But like, a lot of artists, they put in all these years, master their craft. They're the best on the mic or behind the drum set or behind the guitar, whatever their craft is, right? They're the best at the art, right? They're like, they're on the guitar and they're like Carlos Santana, who, right? Because they're smashing the fuck out of anybody, right? But they don't know shit about the business, and they think that just because they have the talent, that the business should come knocking to them. But it's not like that. It's the tree that falls in the forest with nobody around situation, right? Yeah. Just because like your homeboys or your family or your fucking local church or your local bar knows that you can fucking do X, Y, or Z musically dope as fuck doesn't mean shit. Yeah. Because you have to actually get out there on a national stage. And it used to be the terminology, you got to be known locally before you get known globally, right? But that's not always the case anymore with the internet. Because
ended up doing shows first in Russia. Speaking of,
exactly.
First show,
he blew
shows, not
first shows were in Russia before the embargo, right? But he was doing his first shows out in Russia, and he's been in Europe ever since his lockup, right? Because he can't really do shit here. But see, that's the thing too, is that people fucked with him overseas, and KRS-One has even said this. Fucking Tech Nine has said this. All kinds of people have said this. Overseas markets will fuck with you faster and harder than the U.S. market will.
Look at
for
Jimi
many
Hendrix,
different reasons.
So Jimi Hendrix did not blow up until he went to England.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But see the thing is that there's a lot of factors to it. One, the most obvious one is that here in America we're used to a billion different fucking hip hop artists or whatever, right? And so when we see a 6ix9ine or whatever, we're like, okay, it's another one, right? But in Russia or fucking the UK or wherever else, when they see somebody like that, Africa, India, Philippines, whatever, when they see somebody like that, they're like, whoa, this exemplifies everything that I think the stereotypical America's about, right? Because they don't know 100% like we know when we're like, no, that's not really what we're about, right? But you see what I'm saying? Like, it's the facsimile or whatever it's called, right? It's the portrayal of, oh, that's that American shit, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so they eat that shit up, right, when they see it. And so that's why they fuck with you over there. And then another thing as well too is that he hit the internet hard. Yeah, because for one, the internet's cheaper than fucking physical, right? And so that helps you go further, faster, and more efficient. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest part of it, right? Yeah, you got the, Americana nostalgia situation that you deal with all across the world, which I've been dabbling in with some of my conversion ads and stuff like that. Some of my marketing, I've been testing out different markets across, outside the United States, and they're performing really well. It's converting really well.
I can imagine.
For that reason. Reason, plus also it's cheaper, man. Yeah. Like, it's so much cheaper to market online. And then once you get known online, like you said, KP, he started doing his first shows over in Russia before he even started popping over here. Yeah. And then he started headline places over here because he had built his fucking car to the point where whenever he had, Lucian Grange, it wasn't obviously just that one guy. It was Universal Records. Once they got behind him and said, hey, we got you now. Let's move this car down the fucking road. Let's put some fucking high quality gas in this tank. Yep. Then they started pushing him, and they knew to push him over outside the United States first.
Yeah.
Get a lot of money out of him because it's cheaper to market over there and you can make more bang for your buck. Take that extra investment. And then once you've tested the fuck out of his product, then you release it to America, because then all those trials and tribulations you're going through over there, you'll find out, wait, this worked, but this didn't work, and this worked on this demographic, but not this demographic. Then you look at how Russia and Eastern Europe does versus Western Europe and the UK. You know what I'm saying? You do that kind of stuff, you find out all these things, and then you're like, okay, let's go ahead and fucking throw him back on the block in Brooklyn real quick with a bunch of fucking gang members with red flags and see what happens. And boom, you know what I'm saying? Boom, done, right? And that kind of thing is really how it goes. But a lot of people, they want to go from A to Z without the whole fucking alphabet in there. They never listened to Papoose alphabetical slaughter before. You got to go from A to Z and then backwards through that motherfucker like he did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before you actually get where you want to go. And a lot of people, they're like you said, KP, they're not built for the fucking longevity, and they want to see that return. What I was saying a second ago is the biggest thing that fucks with artists the most is once whatever their number is, right? Once they feel like they have put in enough money into their music, they should be getting a return by now up to their standards. That's when it really fucks with them mentally. And they get so jaded and just like thrown off by this shit. And they're like, oh, then that's when they really get on the whole everything is rigged type thing. It's all pay for play and shit like that. And I'm just like, no, what you think is a scam is unrealistic expectations on the amount of money that you spent. Just because you spent $1,000 in 1 year on your fucking marketing doesn't mean shit. That ain't nothing, man.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? You expect to be known all around the United States off $1,000? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, I understand. If you're only making $25,000 a year before taxes, $1,000 is like a lot. That's like a 20th of your fucking income for the whole year. I get it, right?
Yeah.
But just because it's a lot of money to you doesn't mean it's a lot of money to somebody who's making $100,000 a year. Because $1,000 to somebody making $100,000 a year ain't shit compared to somebody, over the course of a year, right? Maybe at one time. So it's about your perspective, and your perspective has to change in order for you to change your reality. Right. And that's the biggest thing that I try to tell artists all the time. And that's what we come here to talk to you about all the time, no matter what topic we're talking about, no matter what guests we have here on Music Makes Sense Podcast, nothing like that. What we come to talk to you about is, hey, you have to change your perspective on things. You have to see things from a different perspective in order to change your reality. And to get the reality that you want in this music industry, you got to realize you're going to have to spend at least 10 years and tens of thousands of dollars of either your own money, loan money, or fucking investor money, which is loan money. Maybe some grants or some shit like that if you can get them. I know a dude in the UK who's doing some decent shit on the grants, and a guy in Canada who's getting some grants as well too, right? Nothing big, but a little bit to help float them, right? Better than zero, and it's a grant, you got to pay it back. But you can do stuff like that. You can work on sync licensing to help get your money up so you can go further faster, right? By getting that cash, because like SO said, the bank is where it's at. And he has a great point.
Yeah. But
you got to build that car first. And so all you artists out here that are doing your 10,000, 40,000 hours into honing in your craft, you got to know the marketing pieces of it. You got to know how to portray yourself. Like, what's that lady you said dressed up in costumes or whatever?
Chris Bradley. Chris Bradley. Yeah.
Chris Bradley. Yeah. So you got to figure out your caricature of yourself, and which is like an exaggeration of some of your characteristics that you already have. Mm-hmm. Right. That's what caricature is. Like when you go get that, you get one of those caricature drawings done or whatever. And like, it gives you big ears because your ears are a little bit big, but it makes you huge fucking ears. Right. You accentuate certain parts of yourself to make yourself stand out more. Mm-hmm. Like I accentuate myself as being a really outgoing, outlandish type of person. And I'm not so much. It's more of that's what's inside. Once I get out behind the camera, I let it out. But out in public around people, it usually doesn't come out that much. All right. I just wanted to come in here and let every single one of y'all who love raw, real real underground hip hop know about a dope show I found over on YouTube, and they're exclusively on YouTube as well too. All right, it's called Hip Hop Radar Underground. Make sure you go check them out. They got live Friday shows every single Friday, showcasing artists from all across the world, underground, raw, real hip hop. And if you're an artist, you can actually go and submit your music there too and get it popping on that show. It's a great place to go and network with everybody as well too. Everybody that watches that show and tunes in live are raw, real hip hop fans. All right. So it's a great place to find some real lovers of your music. And like I said, if you love listening to dope new music, make sure you go check them out. They also offer artist spotlight interviews as well too. So if you're an artist, you want a spotlight, go ahead and hit them up over there. Me and KP were just previously on there, and we had a dope interview, sat down with the host himself, Sack Juggalo, and had a great conversation. It was a great opportunity. So I just wanted to cut this message right here for every single one of y'all who love raw, real hip hop, or you're an artist. Make sure you go check out Hip Hop Radar Underground over on YouTube. You can also follow them over on IG. Make sure you go check them out. All right, let's get back to the show, right? But you got to do stuff like that to get known. And you ain't got to dye your hair or fucking damn near wear nothing. You can do everything in your own way. I mean, KP's got his own way. Every single one of us has our own way that we exemplify our characteristics and stand out. Yep. And so you have to build that and learn how to, batch create content and put it out there on a steady basis. And you can do it for free. I got a course on it, on how to do it. Absolutely, you can take my little an hour and a half worth of videos in my whole course called TikTok Style Music Videos over on apexmusicsystem.com, right? Check out that course. You can take that course. I'll show you how on your phone for free, for no extra money from what you're already paying for your fucking phone, right? $1,000 or whatever. You can create content every single month that's entertaining and engaging, and you can do what I always say you need to do, and what Dan pointed out in the last episode that I always say is, if you're in the entertainment business, you need to entertain. Yeah. So that's what you need to do first, because that's what builds your fucking car. The more you entertain, the more you put yourself on camera, and the more you try different things on camera in order to stand out, the better you're going to build that car. You're going to start putting that nice hood on there. You're going to put the tint on those windows. You're going to put those wheels on that motherfucker. You put that good exhaust on. And then after years of doing that, throwing some money in there as well too, you're going to get that car built. And then you start putting money in that gas tank with ads or any other kind of marketing that you can do, where you're going to have to put that money in to start going down that fucking road. Yeah. And so that video that we saw at the beginning of this with those guys, both those guys put together are absolutely right. Just like what you said, KP. It's a combination of both of them. But like we saw in that video, I see motherfuckers arguing about apples and oranges all the goddamn time when they're both eating fucking fruit. You know what I'm saying? You got to put those shit together and make a fruit salad.
Bro,
you got to make a fruit salad out of that shit.
Let me put this right. Let me
It is. It ain't apples and oranges. It's a fruit salad.
Man, damn, I should have clipped that one too. That's a bar, guy. That is a bar. That's what, exactly. For real. No, I would do you definitely, because that's so true when you think about it. Like, it's like, man, we're it's like that. It's that dumb dichotomy thing, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like,
is it good or evil? Yeah, well, it's a little bit of both, honestly.
Yeah, right? It's like
every one of us has good and evil. You got to figure out how to use both of them to your advantage.
Yeah. I know, and that's what I thought of. That's why I'm like, like as we're sitting here and as you were speaking, I was like, just in my head, I'm like, yeah, like, because the things we've talked about as far as like my feelings and things like that, and my stances and stuff, and I'm like, right. Vershawn, shout out to Vershawn, he brought up a really good point, like using skits, because because I also thought about, damn, that's so true, because I can't just say that it's all music that inspired me to do what I do. I mean, I look at comedy, acting, you know what I'm saying? I do look at that stuff, and I know that I've gone to, I've taken acting lessons. You know what I'm saying? I know I've been told I'm funny. You guys have told me that, right? So I know that I can use, I'm like, okay, so I can utilize that stuff. It's that thing that John Singleton told Ice Cube. If you can write a rap, you can write a movie script. right? So I'm like, yeah, and like I can put on my makeup and my mask and stuff and bring that black sense of humor, that comedy, that sense of comedy that I'm inspired by, like your D militants and you even get on my fucking, but at the same time, Dave Chappelle, right? Because things that he said, right? I mean, you know what
I
I'm
caught
saying?
what you said there for a second. Yeah, if first it went over my head, but then I caught what you
Right.
said. Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, you got to add all that in, right?
Mhm.
All your influences for your whole life,
Yep.
you add those in, and that's your caricature that you portray the world. That's what's gonna make you stand out. That's what's gonna be your mark.
Yep, and then being able to discuss it, like to be able to utilize that sense of humor in a way where I'm able to discuss things, right? But I'm able to bring a message instead of being so direct with it. But it's still gonna be
You're doing it through
direct,
art.
but it's doing it through the art, and it's gonna make and it's gonna 10x the authenticity that I want that I bring. So yeah,
because what it's gonna do is what it always does. When you put your message in the music and it's not 100% direct, it's more artistic. Then what actually happens is you're gonna have a majority of the public when they hear your song, they're gonna hear it for just the art, but you're gonna have that minority that's gonna hear the message and it's gonna resonate with them, and that's gonna be your core fan base. Just like when Kendrick Lamar came out with Drink or ADHD, right? Or not 88. Yeah, when he came out with those two tracks, right?
Yeah.
Drank, a lot of people thought it was a fucking pro-drinking song. But if you actually listen to the fucking message in there, it's an anti-drinking song. Same with ADHD. A lot of people thought it was a pro-drug use song. It was an anti, right? Because of what he stands for. He stands for that unity that he just did on Juneteenth concert and stuff like that, getting the Crips and the Bloods up there and talking about, yo, we're all together, right? Doing all kinds of stuff like that, which he started doing, on Overly Dedicated and Section 80 before he even got signed and found by Dre, right? Like, when I liked Kendrick, which was Overly Dedicated in Section 80, right? And then after that was Good Kid, Mad City and the Pimp a Butterfly and all that shit after he got signed. I like the shit from before he got signed. But like, when his message was on point, and people are going to hear stuff like that, but when you put it out through the artistry, it helps you be marketable for one, because you're not just, being so direct in people's faces that it's going to turn off a lot of people on first instinct, but you have the artistry behind it and you're speaking in a tone that they already like and enjoy. And so they're sitting there listening like, oh yeah. And then when they start listening more, then they'll be like, whoa, that's the message in it. That's dope. And then go from there. Right. No matter what your genre is.
Right. But no, I'm talking, but even with content shooting, like your content creation, like with me using those skits, like I was thinking about one where it's when black parents find out your kid, you're into metal. And then I'm gonna like imitate my parent, like a parent, like, boy, what the hell you listening to that goddamn devil music for? I know you're not gonna bring that in my goddamn house, mother. I will whoop your ass.
Yeah.
That type of thing. And then the kid like,
right.
Mom, relax. Like, at least I'm not out here slanging dope and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Then mom look, well, you all right, baby. Okay, well, just don't be around here getting in no damn trouble. That's why I listen to this, Mom. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
I love you.
Yeah.
Bye. Right there. That whole
Right.
thing
Yeah.
would be
Doing
like,
shit like that.
yeah, like it, but it'll show like it is like, okay. So I think doing stuff like that will, it'll definitely open a whole new door, and it'll get people like, it'll make you laugh, but at the same time, it'll make you think like, okay, yeah, man, I could see that happening and why. Right. And you start explaining and stuff like that, and just being able to add those little explanations and the hook and all that stuff. So yeah, like I feel like being able to do things like that, like doing skits and my like full get up with the pinhead mask on and shit and my makeup and all that, like doing that stuff and really bringing that creativity and opening up a different side of being an African-American extreme metal artist, right? And the people being able to see that and that it'll make a huge difference. So that's where like, yeah, the whole being able to market and that image, right? That's again, who they see that a lot of a lot of labels and stuff like that, there would be more, and they've seen me gaining those numbers, they would be more interested in that.
All right, y'all. I just want to hop in here again real quick. Yes, I know again, but you know what? We rock with a lot of people here, and a lot of people rock with us here at Music Making Sense Podcast. So I got to tell you about all these great people, all right? And this one right here, right now, is Mad K Studios, all right? Go check them out, madkstudios.com. Mad K is a dope artist, man. This guy can draw or paint almost anything, okay? He really, really specializes in like portrait arts for memorialization of your favorite car or a family member or a loved one or something like that. All right. Full commission artwork, no copy and paste shit or nothing like that. All right. Custom designs. If you want it, make sure you go hit up madkstudios.com for your custom art piece. And you can even go check out some of the pieces that he's done for freelance and stuff like that. And you can also get it on a shirt. He's got coffee mugs and mouse pads and all kinds of other decorative pieces of artwork that you can go and check out as well too. So if you're a connoisseur of art, you're looking for a nice piece of knickknack or something like that around the house, or if you want a custom artwork designed for a loved one or something that's cherished in your life that you want memorialized in an actual painting, a real painting, make sure you go check out madkstudios.com. Let them know Harco's over at Music Making Sense Podcast sent you. All right, let's get back to the show.
Why? Because
absolutely,
because of the way,
because it resonates.
Yeah, and it resonates. Exactly.
It resonates with people because you're not only going to hit your core demographic of the people who feel different within society, right? And you know, even if they're not, a black kid growing up who's really into metal, maybe they're a white kid or a Latino kid who's really into metal, but like their parents, their family, their culture that they live in is not about extreme metal, it's about this or that or whatever, and or they just feel out of place even if they're accepted by their family, right? Stuff like that. You're going to resonate with those people, and then you're going to have the people on the outside that see things from a different perspective and be like, oh, I never thought about it like that. I guess that person could feel like that, right? You're going to hit all these different people, and then that's what's going to cross over. And now you're crossing over in cultures, and that's what's marketable for a label or just even for yourself if you want to stay indie. You know what I'm saying? It's very, very marketable, and that's what matters the most. And see, you're staying true to yourself with that. Yep. And that's another thing that I see a lot of people, a lot of artists talk about, especially in the hip hop scene, is they think, oh, I got to put on an act, I got to be fake. No, be you, be raw, be real. But get yourself out there, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Do some shit. Stop putting out a couple music videos every year where you're just flexing on screen and essentially making music to show off to other artists.
Yeah.
And actually create music that resonates with the fans. Stop worrying about other artists. That's another thing I see too, man, is I see so many artists, especially in the hip hop scene, right? I mean, I'm sure it's everywhere else as well too. But they put on for other artists. They're out here making other music. They're talking about other artists in their music, either by name or in general. And then they're creating the content aimed at other artists. And I'm like, yo, you're doing it backwards. You need to aim it at people who would like your shit. That's where you're fucking up. Fuck these other artists. They're not going to care anyway. If they do listen to your shit, 90% are going to be haters. So fuck them all, right? If they come around after you're marketing to the fans, then cool, fine, whatever. They come around, right? But it's really, really weird because I'm like, why are you worrying about these other artists?
Well, I
like,
think
if it's somebody you want to work with, okay, I get it.
No,
but like it's like they're trying to show out,
right? But you know what? It's funny you say that because earlier today, I was watching one of Brandman's past videos, but he just edited for 2023. But it was the one where he was talking about building your team. And one of the things he put up was working with doing it. One of the things that's important, like today, is it's important to connect with other artists today. And he was saying that.
Talking about though,
huh?
No, that's different from what I'm talking about though. Right, I get what you're saying.
But he was saying that. But no, but even Mos Def, Yasin Bey had said this himself, and I quote: "The people who are going to connect with your music the most are other artists first." So this thing where I know we got to it is important to be with the fans, but we have to understand too, a lot of artists are still fans.
Yes, and I'm not saying that they're not.
No, I know you're not, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is that people do it as a show off to other artists, and it's not necessarily the competition aspect of it either. It's like they create music to try to outdo another artist in the eyes of other artists. What you're talking about, what Brandman was talking, well, at least what Brandman was talking about, right? What Brandman was talking about is working with other artists, even Yasin Bey, right? Working with other artists. That's different. See, the way I see it is an artist, no matter what genre, what you should do is you should be dope at your craft and put it out there and entertain the fans. And then if another artist comes up to you and says, yo, I like what you're doing. I see what you're doing, connecting with your fans. I'd like to be a part of this and help you with this. These are the skills I bring to my table. Let's work together and collaborate. Or you go and you find another artist this is similar with that or whatever, and you say something like that. Working together with other artists, that is key right there, right? And maybe that's what Yasin was talking about. I know that's what you said Brayman was talking about. But when you're doing it like that, I could see it.
Right.
But whenever you're out here, all your posts are talking about other artists. The fans give a fuck.
So you think that
you know what I'm saying?
You think that being overly like just focusing on being competitive with other artists is I see what you're saying. Yeah, no,
it's a hyper competition.
That is unhealthy. I agree with you on
it's
that.
Unhealthy and it's unattractive to actual fans.
Yeah, it is.
If they just see you beefing with other people, like, oh man, this motherfucker's a drama queen or king or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, oh, this motherfucker's full of drama, right? Like, they don't give a fuck about that. Like, yeah, everybody, and then people are like, oh, beef sells. Yeah, beef does sell to an extent if you're fucking, if you're out there trying to do that. But what's going to sell the most is the music. Because, people will look at, Eminem, and he first came out, he had beef with a lot of different people, but let's just say ICP, right? And then he has recent one with MGK. He's had with a lot of people in between, right? But let's just say those two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
by the way, he got his dope ass song with him and LL Cool J. New song just leaked out. This I don't know, I forgot the name of it, but dude, both of them together are lethal as fuck.
That'd be interesting. But see, people will look and say, oh, look at how these beefs really skyrocketed him. Right. I'm like, that's not what resonated with his core audience, though. His core audience resonated with all of his deep, dark tracks. You know what I'm saying? That's what they resonated with. And the same thing, you want to talk about Kendrick and Drake, right? The fans didn't resonate with them because of their beef. The fans resonated with them from all their deep tracks before, right? So it's about the music. If you end up having a beef with somebody, fuck it. You have a beef with somebody. I've been there, done that. Everybody has. But when you're out here just like scoping and being like, I saw this one post the other day. This one dude who's supposedly making moves. I was like, I ain't been on the book in about 4 days because me and my team been out here making money. But I see y'all still up to the same shit out here, just talking shit on Facebook. I'm going to get back to my money. I'm like, okay, so you're making $0. I know that because you didn't even want to pay me $50, so fuck yourself. And for two, he didn't want to pay me $50 for the opportunity to have so. Exactly. He didn't even want to pay me $50 for the opportunity to get on with Sony Distribution and distribute his whole fucking label that he's got going for $50 only, one-time fee. He didn't have that. I ain't got that right now. But he out here making money. He ain't been on the book in 4 days. Oh, you mean you just did a weekend? Because I guarantee you just did a weekend, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be out here bullshitting. You're out here fucking robbing motherfuckers for their fucking prepaid phone or some shit. Fuck out of here. And,
hold on. Now I gotta get
it. But yeah, so that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about, where people are worried about what other artists are doing.
Right.
Where it's to their detriment to themselves. They're wasting energy for no reason, and they're not putting that energy into their fans and giving benefit to their fans in the form of actual entertainment. No matter what it is that you stand for and you're about in your music,
Right.
you need to portray that to the fans, because those motherfuckers are going to be the ones who will end up eventually giving you money one way, shape, or form. They will be your support. They will be your backbone. They will help you push that car until you can get some gas in the tank, right? You get stopped at the red light, they'll push that motherfucker to the goddamn gas station for you. You know what I'm saying?
Look at Lil Russell.
That's what your fans are for. Exactly. Look at Lil Russell. That's what your fans are for. Okay. And if other artists join in because they see what you're doing, they resonate with your lyrics, they resonate with your movement, they resonate with how you're moving.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's dope. And you're going to have people trying to fucking scam you, and you're going to have people that are real. That's for you to sort out. But focus on entertaining the fans first.
Yeah.
Because that is everything. Everything, man.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Any other facts to put on this machine?
Hell no, man. That was a good one. This one was a good one. I love the
absolutely.
That was a great one. That was a great one, especially
had a couple of rough starts, but we finally got this last one done.
Yeah, man. You know what? I definitely I'll give us a, you know what I'm saying? I want to give us a
That's the long one. Yep, that's the long one.
Long
There
one,
it is,
baby.
right there.
We deserve this one, dude.
There we go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, shout out to No Labels Necessary for posting up that clip of Esso and Ray Daniels.
Yes, sir.
Talking about that stuff. It's very inspirational. You know, when me and KP either see some stuff online, or like with me when I'm working with artists, I hear something or whatever, it spurs a lot of conversation that we have. And whether it's just me and KP rocking it out, or it's anybody else on the show, we always try to bring that raw, real information to you, and bare minimum trigger some thoughts in your fucking head to get you thinking like,
right,
is so and so off it? You know, is Harkos off it? Is KP off it? Like what? Wait, maybe I'm off it. You know what I'm saying? Get you thinking, bare minimum. Yeah. You ain't got to see us like fucking messianic figures and shit like that. If you do, okay, cool, whatever. It makes me fucking feel better about myself. But at the end of the day, it's all about you getting some more information, thinking differently, thinking critically about yourself, and growing.
Yeah.
And that's why we come here every single week. Music Makes Sense Pod for any and everything Music Making Sense podcast. musicmakesensepod.com for any and everything Music Making Sense podcast. And make sure, you know, of course, you know, all the sponsors down below. Make sure you hit up Riverside as well, too. Get that shit taken care of, no matter what you're doing. But, and then, of course, like I said a little bit ago, apexmusicsystem.com for everything Apex Music System. If you want to get your shit on point, I got a lot of stuff coming down the way here very, very soon. But go join that newsletter, and every week I send out a weekly newsletter, get some information in there, and I'll let you know as soon as I drop anything new. But you can still get that TikTok music video course over there. That's going to be up and everything like that. It was free. I just recently added a fee to it, but it's not that big, especially for the knowledge. And there's even one episode in there that's a free episode you could preview, so it gives you kind of a taste. But make sure you go hit up all that shit. And until next week.
Oh, remember, this Sunday, I'll be starting off doing live.
Oh, there's no remember, because that episode didn't air because we had technical difficulty.
Oh, that's right. Well, guess what, guys?
Okay.
This Sunday.
KP has a note.
That's right. My bad. That's right. This Sunday. Okay. So starting on Sundays, guys, I'm going to be going live on YouTube and our Instagram page. All right. So
the Music Makes Sense podcast.
Music Making Sense podcast. I'm going to be going live on there. So do some Q&A. I'm going to talk about some stuff, cover some things that you know, that Harkos and I didn't cover, but there's some things that I want to talk about as well. And instead of me going to a different platform or building another platform, nah, man, I just go on live, because that's one of my favorite ways to do it, would be to go online as well. So I'm going to start going live and do some Q&As also, but I'm going to talk about certain things that we don't talk about on here, but I'm going to cover as well. And yeah, man, it's just going to be fun. So yep, tune in on Sundays, and I'm going to be going on noon Pacific Standard Time. So that's going to be the time. Every Sunday I'm going to be going live. on YouTube and Instagram. Our Music Making Sense podcast pages, guys. So
Yep. So musicmakingssensepod.com, where you can find those links where you can just look it up yourself if you know how to spell it. Obviously, if you're listening, you know how to
You're
spell
right.
it. But just in case you just want a quick and easy link, go to musicmakingssensepod.com and check it out and everything like that. Go and interact. At least bare minimum say what's up to KP.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to be able to hop in during that time because I'll be busy doing other things on Sundays around that time.
Yeah.
That's 3
And
months.
this man does a hell of a lot of work for us, man. I think
There's
I
that
could
too.
so I'm like, yeah, man. So I'm definitely want to do this to help us, just because I definitely, like I said, this is my strength going live, and it would definitely
and
help.
lives help.
Yeah, live,
and lives help with the algorithm as well too.
Yeah.
So as I'm getting caught up with other things, been having some shit go on, but I'm getting caught up with everything. So I'm going to start posting more often the shorts and stuff like that to all the platforms. For those of y'all who don't follow on the socials, I do post shorts a lot of times.
Yeah.
And other bonus pieces of content as well too on all the platforms. So musicmakesensepod.com, go check those out. I've been a little off it here lately, but I'm getting back into. I got a lot of stuff clipped up. I just don't have it processed and ready to go.
Yeah.
But as I start posting that, going live will help, and that is part of a good content strategy as well too, y'all. So with your marketing, do that as well.
Yeah.
Have some images, have pre-built content and stuff like that, snippets from interviews, or even just sitting down, do some stuff, and then go live every once in a while and just entertain your fans. Sit there. If you're hilarious, be hilarious.
Yeah.
If you're fucking, if you're talking about some raw real shit, talk about some raw real shit.
Yeah.
Stay in character. Stay within your brand. Let me say that.
I'm the character of us, so I can go on there and do it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a character as a motherfucker too. Y'all know that. But like, be you.
Yeah.
But just like, maybe show a little bit extra. You know what I'm saying? Give people a little bit extra, something that makes them want to tune in. Because if they just tune in and see the same shit, it's, whatever. But yeah, so go check out KP on Sundays and stuff like that. And yeah, until then, we will see you on the next episode of Music Making Sense podcast. Y'all have a good one.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to all the sponsors, all the affiliates, you know how it is. Go hit them up down in the description below.
We out, y'all.